Hello, everyone. So we have Vikram here, IELET rank 12, our CLAT span batch student, online student. Yes, Vikram.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how are you feeling rank 12? A lot of students have it.
It's been 2 days since I've gotten the result and it still feels unreal.
Huh?
It still feels unreal. It
And
still feels unreal.
How was the family's reaction?
I know they were really happy in the end, but we were all ecstatic when we got the result and I started jumping around. It just felt unreal.
Right.
I wasn't expecting that rank because when I saw the answer key, I thought I was going to get like an 80 and the cutoffs never go that low. So I was really scared, but I got rank 12, which was amazing.
See, this is what happens when the paper is difficult. There's a lot of chances that it can bog you down, but at the end, see what you got as a result, right? So please take us through your journey. How did you start preparation? How did it all go?
Okay, so I started right after my 10th grade ended. I was in the batch whose boards got cancelled. So that was a fun thing. And then I started about a week later. I joined the online batch of Career Launcher. Back then, COVID was still a thing, and we were all at home. So I spent an year in the online coaching. That is how I first built my base. I didn't, I hear people out there saying that we started giving mocks as soon as we joined. I gave my first mock after 8 months of preparation. That's when I gave my first mock. So that is what I recommend everyone to do. I didn't give my mock the first day. I gave it after months of practice, months of doing tests. And I gave my mock in December, I think. I started in June and I gave it in December.
Okay, so
the score,
please continue. Please continue.
Oh, like I said, and the score was okay. I mean, the rank was okay, but that was my main recommendation. I don't give the mocks the first day. That's what I did.
Right. Okay. So before taking mocks, you were taking sectional test and topic test. Is that so?
I did all the topic tests twice. I did all the sectional tests twice. I did all the classes, the class sheets. Then I gave my first mock.
Right. Got it. Okay. Just a second. Yeah. Now, can you please take us through your mock analysis journey? I mean, okay, I understand you took your mock a bit late. That was one of your strategy, one of the part of your strategy. But just taking a mock is not enough. Getting an analysis, a well done analysis, in-depth analysis of a mock, especially the self-analysis, is very much important. So how did you go about it?
Okay, so the first 10 mocks I gave were scheduled at a span of 2 weeks. So in those 2 weeks, all I did was analyze the mocks, each and every question, see where I did each and every section again. I analyzed each and every question again. Because not giving the mocks isn't the important part. Like you said, an in-depth analysis is what we require. So I went through all the questions. I saw everything I did wrong, and I did it again. I did some more tests again before I gave my next mock. And of course, as I went through, my scores kept increasing. They never went down.
Oh, that's great. So what was your lowest score, if I may know?
It was in my first mock. I think I got an 87 in my first mock, and that was my lowest score.
Okay. And did it ever discourage you or demotivate you when you were there lower in the rank list? Like just before starting the session, you just told me that during our mock analysis session, when I used to show you the names of the toppers, your names were there in the lower list, right? I mean, lower of the top rankers list. So did it ever demotivate you, or how did you take it actually?
I mean, it did demotivate me to a certain extent, but I mean, for me, I didn't really worry about getting in the first top 10 ranks. For me, I set a target, like I thought I should get at least 110 in this mock. I set that target, and if I achieved my own target, then that I believe that mock went well. No matter the rank, I mean, I set a target every time for myself that I should at least get 110 in this one or 100 in this one. And if I at least beat that, then that would have been enough for me.
Got it. And what was your strategy on the D-Day when you got the paper, when you saw the paper, the weirdest paper of NLU Delhi so far? So what was your reaction and how did you deal with that?
Okay, so I've always start with the GK section first, and the GK section was at the last. And the GK section was comparatively easy. So I was really confident as soon as I finished the GK section. Then I turned back and I thought there must have been some error because the English section is right after the logical section. What is going on? And it took me 3 minutes to realize what the pattern was. And yes, and then of course I fumbled like everyone else, but it took me 2 paragraphs to catch up my pace and get the answers right.
So how did you
and it was
attempt
shocking,
it? Yes. So
how did
you
I
attempt it?
Okay, so like I said, after I did the GK, I had already wasted 3 minutes, and 3 minutes is a lot in this exam. So, I thought just don't try to use too many strategies. Just take every paragraph as it is. Do the English section first, do the logical next. I did it in the complete same order as it was. All my strategies went to waste, as soon as I saw the mark, as soon as I saw the paper.
So basically you panicked, but you then collected yourself and worked on further strategy, yes, making it flexible.
It took me 10 minutes to collect myself, and that is when I started attempting them properly.
So do you think our mock analysis session somehow helped you in tackling that situation in any way?
Of course they did. I mean, every mock analysis session helped, of course they did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, other than that, I would also like to know the other part of, the preparation that was about balancing your school and your CLAT preparation, right? So because school is already a hectic part in your life and you add a stress of CLAT as well and IELT as well to that. So how are you managing it? Like your friends, family, social life, everything?
So, okay, the first thing, I was one of the lucky ones last year. I didn't have any offline exam for my school in 11th grade. So that went well. And in 12th grade, I gave every exam till the first term. After that, I asked my school for a leave, and they of course they obliged, and I'm really thankful for that. But I would say that if you're a part of the humanities stream, and if you've chosen the right subjects, I don't think that any one of them would not be beneficial for your CLAT preparation as well. Studying pol science will only help. It will not harm you in any sort of way. Right. So that's what I did. I did the 70% of the board syllabus till September, and that's when I left it. After that, I didn't do anything about school, and all I did was give mocks and mocks and mocks and mocks.
So you had it very clear in your head that you have to pursue law from an NLU since when? I would like to ask.
Since I think like in 9th or 10th grade, my dad got me that book for CLAT. He told me to go through it. Of course, I didn't go through it, but that's back then we decided that I would go for law. It was already well planned. Oh, no, okay. It wasn't a sudden interest. It was well planned over the years.
Right. Got it. And just tell us about the lower phases, lower lands of your preparation when maybe you would feel low or you would feel demotivated, comparing yourself with others, feeling that you're not doing well enough. How did you tackle with such situations in your preparation? Because it was a 2-year-long preparation, right?
It was a 2-year long, yes. And, there was a lot of competition, even in just career launch. So there were so many students, and getting a rank in the mocks is a tough thing. It's a big thing. And, there were mocks where my rank went really, really low. And it did discourage me, but like I said, all I did was analyze that mock, see where I went wrong. And I made sure that, if let's say in one mock, I got like 10 in maths or 8 in maths, which is less. I made sure that in the next paper, I get at least 13 in maths, no matter what. So I made sure that, and I did this for every section. In one paper, I got less in legal. So I made sure I got more in legal the next time. And in the end, as I kept going through and through this, all the sections just came where I wanted them to be.
I'm glad that me repeating about quant in every analysis session, actually, somebody is there who is listening to it, right? There are very less students who give any such heat to quant, and I'm glad that you gave it. Great.
Maths was always one of my favorite subjects, and this is always what I figured it out. I figured this out at an early stage. Maths would be the tiebreaker here. A lot of people who give CLAT are from the humanities stream who are not really proficient at math, and so I always thought I should at least get a 12 in math, because that's where I'll get the lead from the other students. Because I know a lot of people who are really, really good at comprehensions, but their math is really bad. And that's 15 marks that are just there to grab. So I always, made sure to attempt the math section and do well in that.
Thank you so much for reiterating this, because a lot of people just ignore it like a pickle on the plate. Okay. Other than that, I would also like to ask about your stress busters. I mean, did you pursue any hobby or maybe any activity that would keep you
Yes.
channelized?
In the beginning of my prep, I used to write and I used to read. So that was the stress buster back then. But, my stress busters are just the same as everyone else. I watch Netflix, I go to the gym, and that's all I do.
Right, right. And how would you say CL mocks helped you? Do you feel that CL mocks in a particular way, or CL curriculum as a whole, your faculty, the study material, months, all of that somehow helped you in upscaling your skills, or was it more like the other way around?
Before giving, when I started giving the mocks, I also saw all India mocks from various other institutes. And I can confidently say that the CL mocks were the closest thing that came to the actual CLAT paper. They were on the exact same lines. The pattern was on the exact same lines. So the CL mocks were always really good. The pattern was on the exact lines. The GK was what one would reasonably expect to come in the exam. So, in the CL mocks, nothing was, out of the box or something that was very different or not like the pattern. It was exactly on the lines of the pattern. So that was one thing about the CL mocks. And as for the monthans, of course, the monthans sufficed, and, Kandap sir's classes always helped.
Yeah. He has that energy that his
He has
sound, his
that.
voice will knock you at your head during the exam also. He
Yes,
has
of
that
course.
energy. Yeah. Also, I would like you to pinpoint to the importance of newspaper. Are you one of those who read newspapers, or are you one of
Yes.
those who relied only on GK compendiums?
No, I will tell you. I used to set an alarm every day for 8 a.m. And I used to read the newspaper as soon as I got out of bed. That was the first thing. You have to read the newspapers. There are no choices there. No source can ever suffice in itself. You have to read the newspapers. You have to do the monthans. You have to do the manthan 2.0. There's no one source you can rely on.
Right, right. And a lot of students have this problem that, ma'am, I'm not able to retain the information. I read the GK once, I read newspaper once, I read Manthan once, but I feel as if I'm forgetting everything. आगे से पढ़ते जा रहे, पीछे से भूलते जा रहे. Right?
For that, I would recommend download the e-paper and make the notes in a Word document. Make some notes. That's the only way. There's no way. Make some notes, short mein likh ke notes banao, and that's how you learn. There's no other way.
So you made notes for the entire year in GK?
No, I started last year. I started in December 2021. I didn't start before that because I wasn't, going to go through 18 months of GK. Right. That was unreasonable. That was
no
unreal.
Point.
So, no point.
Correct. Okay. So at the end, Vikram, I would like you to just give some tips, the final tips, just a few points that you would like to pinpoint कि इतना तो करना ही है to crack IELET or such entrance examination for those people who could not clear the exam this time, or maybe those people who are just beginning to start the preparation.
Okay, so I had two things in mind that I would say. That I hear a lot of people out there saying that just start giving mocks as soon as you enter it. I would not recommend that. I would recommend start small. Do the small exercises first. Do the books you get from CL. Do the topic test. Do the sectional tests. And once you've managed to, you've got the time management in your hand, then move on to the mocks. I would not recommend that anyone should give mocks the first day they enter, because it'll only serve to discourage. You'll barely get a 50, and it'll only serve to discourage, and that cycle will keep going on and on and on. So I recommend giving your mocks at a later stage. And the other thing I hear the most from people is how to do GK. And I'll tell you the answer. There is no easy way for GK. You can do everything and anything. I did a lot of GK. And the marks I got in GK and CLAT are barely 15. Barely 15. And in IELTS, same, 15 out of 30. I still got the rank. So you can do, so I would say that what I would recommend everyone is that do as much as you can. You know, मेरे सर हमें कंदर्प सर हमें बोलते थे अगर तुम ऐसे जीके करके जाओ अगर तुम्हें नहीं आया तो किसी को भी नहीं आया.
Correct. You should have that
That is what I
attitude.
would recommend. And as for the sources, I would not recommend you going through too many sources at the same time. Pick two sources, pick one newspaper and do it from the months. That's all I would recommend. Do not go through 1,000 of sources. There's Drishti IES online. There's 1,000 things online. It'll only confuse you. And there is no easy trick to GK. You have to learn all of it. There is no easy trick to it.
Right. So revision also plays a very important role in retaining the
Yes.
information of GK.
And yes, for the GK, the last 6 months of GK are the most crucial ones. Do not do 18 months of data. Just focus on the last 6 months and know the first 6 months of the year. Just skim through the first 6 months of the year, and the last 6 months should be dead on. You should know everything that happened in the last 6 months.
Also, I think there is one more question that I missed, and I think you would be a right person to address that. It is about logical reasoning. A lot of people are just afraid of logical reasoning for, I don't know what reason. So were you also one of those who were very afraid of logical reasoning throughout your journey?
I was. You know, the CL mocks always have this thing of making the logic section really tough. You know, there have been mocks where I've gotten full marks in legal and math, and I've gotten 10 out of 13 logical. So the logical section has always been tough, but I would say that it's not that much different from English, and there's no need to be scared of it. It's not rocket science. It's only given in the passage. Stick to the passage. Do not use any external knowledge, and logic will be a cakewalk.
All right. So thank you so much, Vikram. I think that was a beautiful interview, a beautiful session with you. And I wish you all the very best on behalf of CL. And please get in touch with us for any help that you require from our side, for any assistance, right? So any final word?
Oh no, I'm really grateful for all the help I've gotten from CL, and you know, still feels unreal, you know, that I'm sitting here giving this interview. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for all the help.
Thank you. All the very best, Vikram.